Captain Nikolai Volkov stood at the bridge of the TNS Pathfinder, humanity's most advanced deep space vessel, as it cruised through the outer edges of the Kuiper belt. His weathered face reflected off the reinforced viewports, the same ones that had witnessed countless astronomical phenomena during their 3-year mission of pushing humanity's boundaries. "Captain, we're picking up something unusual," Lieutenant Jun Nakamura announced from his sensor station, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. It's a signal. Definitely artificial, but unlike anything in our database." Dr. Marcus Rodriguez, the ship's xenobiologist, rushed to the bridge, his dark eyes wide with excitement. "The pattern suggests intelligent design. It's repeating in mathematical sequences that couldn't occur naturally." Volkov straightened his uniform, a habit from his 20 years in the Terran Navy. "Distance? Approximately 2.3 million kilometers, sir," Nakamura replied. "The signal's getting stronger. Whatever it is, we're heading right toward it." "Show me," Volkov commanded. The main display flickered to life, revealing a visual that made everyone on the bridge catch their breath. Against the backdrop of endless space floated a massive vessel, easily 3 times the size of the Pathfinder. Its hull bore scars of recent combat, with sections exposed to the vacuum of space. "Life signs?" Volkov asked, his voice steady despite the historical gravity of the moment. Dr. Priya Patel, the chief medical officer, consulted her readings. "Faint but present. Multiple signatures, but they are failing. Captain, if there are survivors, they don't have long." The decision took less than a heartbeat. "Bridge to engineering. Chief Morris, I need emergency power to the engines." "Already on it, Captain," came the reply from engineering. "Pushing the fusion reactors to 110%. As they approached the alien vessel, more details became clear. Its design defied human engineering principles, with crystalline structures that seemed to grow organically from a central core. Portions of their hull pulsed with a faint bioluminescence, though many sections had gone dark. "Dr. Rodriguez, analysis?" Volkov asked, never taking his eyes off the alien ship. "The architecture suggests a civilization far beyond our current technological level, Captain. Those crystalline formations. They are not just structural, they appear to be living technology, integrated with mechanical systems in ways we can barely comprehend." First Officer Yuki Tanaka spoke up from her station. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission. The computer's struggling to decode it, but there's something." The bridge speakers crackled with a sound that sent chills down everyone's spine, a voice that was clearly not human, speaking through what seemed to be a translation system. "Help, survivors, pursuing. The amalgamation comes. Launch rescue operations," Volkov commanded. "Dr. Patel, prepare medical bay for xenobiological life forms." Lieutenant Nakamura, continuous sensor sweeps of the surrounding space, whatever did this might still be out there. The next 6 hours were a blur of activity. The Pathfinder's crew worked tirelessly to stabilize the alien vessel enough to board it. What they found inside would change human history forever. The aliens called themselves the Luminari. Their crystalline biology allowed them to enter a form of suspended animation, which had kept 23 of their crew alive, though barely. Their captain, a being who introduced himself as Nexus Guide Valner, remained conscious long enough to transfer critical data to the Pathfinder's computers. "Your species," Valner communicated through the translator, his crystalline form dimming with each word, "you emerged from a death world. We searched for allies, found only conquest or submission. The amalgamation, they fear worlds like yours. Species that survive harsh conditions. But they've seen you now. Coming, sooner than planned." Dr. Patel worked frantically to stabilize Valner, but his injuries were beyond their understanding of Luminari physiology. "Captain," he continued, "the data, everything we know about them. Use it. Prepare. Your world has something they never expected. Adaptability. Determination. You evolved, fighting every step. The amalgamation, they forgot how." As Valner slipped into suspended animation, Captain Volkov knew humanity's age of isolation was over. They had just been thrust onto a galactic stage, and their entrance would be marked by war. "Send an emergency transmission to Earth Command," Volkov ordered, his voice grave. "Priority Ultra 1. Begin message, we are not alone, and we are not safe. Requesting immediate implementation of Protocol Omega. The stars have brought us both salvation and war." As the Pathfinder began its emergency return to Earth, its holds carrying the sleeping luminary and terabytes of crucial data, the crew couldn't help but feel they were racing against time. Somewhere out there, the amalgamation was coming, and humanity's first interstellar war was about to begin. Humanity had answered an alien SOS. Now, they would have to answer the greatest challenge their species had ever faced, and they would do it in true human fashion, by defying the odds, adapting, and refusing to submit. The United Earth Defense Council chamber had never been so quiet. 50 of humanity's most powerful leaders sat in stunned silence as they watched the holographic playback from the TNS Pathfinder's encounter. Captain Volkov's report had triggered an emergency session, and now, 3 days later, the implications were beginning to sink in. Director General Hajime Kato stood at the center of the chamber, his usually stoic demeanor showing cracks of concern. "The luminary data cores have been partially decoded. What we've learned is troubling." The massive display behind him shifted to show star charts, highlighting a pattern of systematic conquest spanning thousands of light years. Each red dot represented a civilization that had fallen to the amalgamation. 27 species in the last century alone, General Diana Santos interrupted, her Brazilian accent thick with tension. "All either absorbed or eliminated. The pattern is clear, they are methodical, patient, and absolutely thorough." The chamber's attention shifted as Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Patel entered, accompanied by a hovering medical pod containing one of the recovered luminari. The alien's crystalline form pulsed weakly with internal light, creating ethereal patterns on the chamber walls. "This is Secondary Navigator Zyra," Dr. Rodriguez announced. "She's regained consciousness and has agreed to provide direct testimony." The alien's translated voice filled the chamber, carrying both strength and sadness. The amalgamation began as 3 species who believed unity was the only path to survival. But their unity became uniformity. Their cooperation became conformity. They see diversity as chaos, individual thought as a disease to be cured. Zyra's crystals flickered with what they'd learned was an expression of deep emotion. "They found your world centuries ago but classified it as too dangerous to approach. Your gravity, your atmospheric composition, your aggressive ecosystem, all of it marked Earth as a death world. But now they've seen your ships reaching for the stars. You've become a priority target." Admiral Wei Chen leaned forward, his cybernetic eye whirring as it focused. "How much time do we have? Originally? 2 centuries. Now?" Zyra's crystalline structure dimmed. "Perhaps 2 years. Our resistance showed them that independent worlds are growing too strong. They will not wait." Director of Intelligence Kamario Koro activated her neural interface, projecting additional data. The luminary cores contain detailed information about amalgamation technology. Their ships use a standardized design philosophy, efficient but inflexible. Their tactics are centuries old, unchanged because they've never needed to adapt. "Because no one's ever truly beaten them," Admiral Chen observed. "No one who evolved on a gentle world," Zyra corrected. "Your species, you arose on a planet that should have killed you 1,000 times over. Every step of your evolution was a battle. The amalgamation's worlds. They shaped their populations through genetic engineering, removing what they saw as evolutionary flaws. They forgot that those flaws are what drive adaptation." The chamber erupted in overlapping conversations until Director General Kato raised his hand for silence. "Dr. Patel, your medical analysis." Dr. Patel stepped forward, her dark skin illuminated by the holographic displays. "The luminary physiology is remarkable, but what's more remarkable is how they've helped us understand the amalgamation. These beings have literally engineered the capacity for change out of their population. They can't handle unexpected variables. They've optimized themselves into a corner." "And humanity?" General Santos asked. "We're nothing but unexpected variables," Dr. Patel smiled grimly. Our bodies can adapt to radiation that would kill most species. We can survive in pressure differentials that should crush us. We can heal from injuries that would be fatal to others. We're not the strongest, fastest, or most advanced species out there, but we might be the most adaptable. Director General Cato's expression hardened with resolve. Then we have advantages they won't expect. Admiral Chen, implement Case Omega. General Santos, begin global military mobilization. Director Okoro, I want every scrap of data from those cores analyzed. Dr. Rodriguez, work with our luminary friends. We need to understand everything about amalgamation biology and technology. And the public, someone asked from the back of the chamber. We tell them the truth, Cato declared. Humanity has spent its entire existence preparing for this without knowing it. Every war, every disaster, every challenge we've faced has taught us to adapt, to innovate, to survive. The amalgamation wants uniformity? We'll show them the power of diversity. They want submission? We'll show them defiance. As the chamber emptied, Dr. Patel approached the Director General. Sir, there's something else. The luminary ships we recovered, their technology could be compatible with human biology. They don't just grow their ships, they communicate with them. If we could adapt that technology. Make it happen, Cato ordered. We have 2 years to accomplish what they thought would take 2 centuries. Every advantage, every innovation, every crazy human idea that just might work, we need it all. In orbit above Earth, the recovered luminary vessel pulsed with renewed energy, its crystalline structure beginning to resonate with the determination of its new allies. Humanity had always looked to the stars with hope and wonder. Now, they looked to them with purpose. The amalgamation had spent millennia perfecting their vision of unity through conformity. They were about to learn why evolution had made humanity so persistent, so resourceful, and so very, very dangerous when backed into a corner. The warning had been delivered. Now, the preparation would begin. The sprawling Nevada desert facility had been built in just 6 months, a testament to humanity's rapid mobilization. Inside Nexus Lab Alpha, Dr. Rohan Patel watched in amazement as Lieutenant Olivia Jackson merged her consciousness with the crystalline interface of the prototype hybrid vessel. Neural sync at 87% and holding, Technical Director Zara Freeman announced, her augmented eyes tracking multiple data streams simultaneously. Bioreadings as stable. Crystal resonance patterns matching human brainwave frequencies. The experimental ship, dubbed Chimera, hung suspended in the massive testing chamber. Its hull was a seamless blend of human titanium alloys and living luminary crystal, pulsing with an inner light that matched Lieutenant Jackson's heartbeat. How does it feel, Lieutenant? Dr. Patel asked through the neural link. Jackson's response came both through the comm system and as patterns of light across the ship's crystalline sections. It's incredible. The ship isn't just responding to commands, it's anticipating them. We're learning from each other. The observation deck door slid open as Colonel Viktor Petrov entered, his face grim. We have confirmation. Long-range sensors detected amalgamation scout ships entering the Oort cloud. Their main fleet isn't far behind. Dr. Patel nodded. Then we're right on schedule. Lieutenant, begin combat simulation sequence Delta. The Chimera came alive, its hybrid systems demonstrating maneuvers that should have been impossible. The crystal-enhanced hull could reconfigure itself mid-flight, adapting to different combat scenarios in real time. What had taken the luminary centuries to develop, humanity had modified and improved upon in months. They won't expect this, Secondary Navigator Zyra observed from her hovering platform. The luminary had recovered enough to take an active role in Earth's preparations. Your species' ability to merge technologies, to push boundaries, it's unprecedented. Colonel Petrov's tactical display showed the latest intelligence. The amalgamation fleet is larger than we anticipated. Over 3,000 ships in the first wave alone. Numbers don't tell their whole story, Technical Director Freeman countered. Show him, Lieutenant. Jackson's consciousness melded deeper with the Chimera. The ship's crystalline sections began growing and changing, demonstrating their latest breakthrough. Within minutes, the vessel had adapted its structure to incorporate aspects of amalgamation technology they'd gleaned from the luminary data cores. Adaptive mimicry, Dr. Patel explained. Their standardized systems are about to become their greatest weakness. Our ships can analyze their technology in real time and evolve countermeasures. Across Earth, similar preparations were reaching their final stages. The African Union's quantum computing arrays had decoded the entirety of the luminary database, providing crucial insights into amalgamation tactics. The European Defense Force had perfected their version of crystal-enhanced battle armor. The Pan-Asian Alliance's orbital shipyards were producing hybrid vessels at an unprecedented rate. In orbit, Admiral Chen supervised the completion of Earth's defensive grid. Status report on the gravity web, he commanded. Final calibrations complete, Admiral, reported Commander Fatima Ul-Rashid from the Lunar Control Center. The network can create localized gravity wells strong enough to tear their ships apart. They've never encountered a species comfortable with manipulating the forces that made their world so deadly to others. The Admiral's cybernetic eye focused on the latest tactical projections. And the Titan initiative. Ready for deployment, Commander Ul-Rashid confirmed. The enhanced soldiers have successfully integrated the crystal tech with their neural systems. They can react faster than any amalgamation unit we know of. Director General Cato's hologram appeared on the bridge. Time estimate. The scout ships will reach Mars orbit in 3 days, Admiral Chen reported. The main fleet, 1 week after that. We're as ready as we'll ever be. Not quite, Dr. Patel interjected, transmitting from Nevada. Lieutenant Jackson just made another breakthrough. The crystal tech, it doesn't just let us adapt our ships. It lets us adapt ourselves. The testing chambers displays showed Jackson's latest neural scans. The crystal integration had begun altering her neural pathways, enhancing not just her connection to the ship but her basic cognitive functions. Evolution in real time, Zyra observed, her crystalline form pulsing with excitement. Your bodies are accepting the changes, improving upon them. You're doing in days what took my species generations. Director General Cato's hologram showed a rare smile. The amalgamation thinks they've perfected themselves. They are about to learn the difference between perfection and adaptation. In the Nevada desert, the Chimera continued its dance of impossible maneuvers, each movement bringing humanity closer to a revolution in warfare. They had taken the Luminary's gift and transformed it into something entirely new, just as they had done with every technology, every challenge, throughout their history. The first scouts of the amalgamation fleet would arrive expecting to find a primitive species barely reaching for the stars. Instead, they would find humanity at its finest, innovative, adaptable, and ready to defend not just Earth, but the very concept of diversity itself. As Lieutenant Jackson guided the Chimera through another reality-defying sequence, she felt the ship's crystalline consciousness merge more deeply with her own. The vessel wasn't just a weapon, it was becoming an extension of humanity's greatest strength, the ability to take what exists and transform it into something new. The warning had given them 2 years. Humanity had used that time to evolve more than the amalgamation had in 2 millennia. Now, the stage was set for a confrontation that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of what it meant to be truly advanced. The first shot of the war wasn't fired by either side's weapons. It was a message, broadcast across all frequencies in perfect amalgamation standard format: we know what you are. We know how you think. Your greatest strength is about to become your greatest weakness. High Commander Nexus of the Amalgamation's First Strike Fleet dismissed the human transmission as primitive psychological warfare. His species had long since engineered such emotional manipulations out of their genetic code. What he couldn't dismiss was what happened next. The human defense fleet didn't match any of their intelligence projections. Instead of crude metal warships, they faced vessels that pulsed with familiar crystalline energy, but twisted and changed in ways that defied amalgamation tactical databases. Multiple enemy signatures detected, Lieutenant Jackson reported from the Chimera's neural interface. The hybrid vessel led Earth's first response squadron, its crystalline sections already adapting to match incoming threat patterns. They are deploying in standard amalgamation combat formation Delta 7. Admiral Chen's voice resonated through the fleet's quantum-encrypted channels. Execute Operation Chaos. Show them why humanity's greatest strength is our unpredictability. The battle that followed would be studied for centuries to come. The Amalgamation fleet, despite its overwhelming numbers, found itself facing an enemy that seemed to evolve with every engagement. Human ships didn't just fight, they adapted, learned, and changed mid-battle. Impossible, High Commander Nexus observed as another squadron of his ships fell to tactics that shouldn't have existed. They are using our own attack patterns, but modified in ways our simulations never predicted. Commander Al-Rashid's voice cut through the Amalgamation's encrypted channels. Their unbreakable codes had lasted less than an hour against Earth's quantum computers. You engineered yourselves for perfection, forgetting that perfection is static. Humanity chose a different path. We embrace chaos, thrive in it, learn from it. The Chimera led a desperate charge through the heart of the Amalgamation formation. Lieutenant Jackson's consciousness, merged with the ship's crystalline matrix, processed combat data faster than any pure organic or mechanical system could manage. Each engagement taught them more about their enemy's capabilities and limitations. Their ships can't adapt, Jackson reported, her voice mixing with the Chimera's harmonic frequencies. They are trying to match our modifications, but their crews, they don't know how to handle unexpected situations. Dr. Patel's voice joined the tactical channel from Lunar Command. Their genetic engineering works against them. They removed what they saw as evolutionary flaws, including the ability to think creatively under pressure. Keep pushing them outside their tactical comfort zone. The space around Mars became a graveyard of amalgamation vessels, their perfect formations shattered by humanity's controlled chaos. Earth ships took losses too, but each destroyed vessel provided data that the surviving ships incorporated into their evolving defense systems. Secondary strike force approaching from Saturn's orbit, Colonel Petrov announced. They are attempting to flank our position. Admiral Chen's augmented tactical systems processed the threat in microseconds. Spring the trap. Activate the gravity web. The network of gravity manipulators, hidden throughout the solar system, came online. The amalgamation ships found themselves caught in artificial gravity wells that their standardized drives couldn't compensate for. Hundreds of vessels were torn apart by forces they never expected to encounter in deep space. High Commander Nexus watched in growing confusion as his perfect battle plan disintegrated. This is not possible. We analyzed every variable. We prepared for every rational response. That was your mistake, Commander Al-Rashid's voice replied. You prepared for rational responses. Humanity's greatest victories have always come from doing the irrational, the unexpected, the things that perfect beings would never consider. The Chimera's crystalline structure pulsed with new patterns as Lieutenant Jackson pushed their hybrid technology to its limits. The ship no longer looked anything like its original design, having evolved through dozens of configurations during the battle. Other human vessels followed suit, each finding their own unique adaptations. They are retreating, Technical Director Freeman announced from Earth Defense Command. Long-range sensors show their remaining ships regrouping near Jupiter. Admiral Chen's tactical display showed the full scope of their victory. Nearly half the amalgamation's first wave had been destroyed or disabled. The rest were falling back, their perfect formations in disarray for the first time in centuries. Send the message, Director General Cato ordered. Make sure every ship in their fleet receives it. The transmission went out, broadcasting in all known amalgamation dialects. This was just our first adaptation. Imagine what we'll learn from this battle. Imagine how we'll evolve before your next attack. You made yourselves perfect. We made ourselves unstoppable. In the aftermath, as human ships collected their wounded and salvaged amalgamation technology for study, Lieutenant Jackson guided the Chimera through the debris field. The ship's sensors recorded everything, learning, adapting, preparing for the next engagement. They'll be back, Colonel Petrov stated grimly. With new tactics, new technologies. Good, Admiral Chen replied. Because humanity has never needed anything more than a challenge to overcome and a reason to unite. The amalgamation thought they were testing us. Instead, they are about to become our greatest teaching tool. The first battle for Sol was over. Humanity had proven that adaptation could trump perfection. But as the surviving amalgamation ships disappeared into the outer system, everyone knew this was just the beginning. The real war, and humanity's true evolution, was about to begin. 6 months after the Battle of Sol, humanity had done more than just defend their home system, they had changed the fundamental balance of power in the galaxy. The captured amalgamation ships yielded technologies that humanity didn't just copy, but transformed. Each breakthrough spawned dozens of innovations that their original creators had never imagined. They are attacking the Centauri containment zone, High Commander Nexus reported to the Amalgamation High Council. His once perfect composure showed signs of strain. The humans, they are not just fighting us. They are freeing our subjected worlds. The massive holographic display in Earth's Strategic Command showed hundreds of liberation operations in progress. Lieutenant Jackson, now Fleet Commander Jackson, led the charge in the evolved Chimera. The ship had become something entirely new, part crystal, part metal, part living organism, and pure human innovation. Proxima Centauri secured, Jackson reported, her consciousness seamlessly linked with both her ship and the tactical network. The local species are already adapting our hybrid technology to their own biology. They are calling it the Liberation Protocol. Dr. Patel, monitoring from the new Terran Alliance headquarters on Mars, studied the incoming data with amazement. Each species we free adds their own unique perspective to the technology. The crystalline meridians of Alpha Centauri have improved the neural interface. The Silicon Collective from Bernard's star has revolutionized the energy systems. Unity through diversity, Director General Cato mused, watching the tactical display. The very thing the amalgamation feared has become their undoing. The war had evolved far beyond a simple conflict between two powers. Every liberated world brought new allies, new innovations, and new ways of thinking. The rigid perfection of the amalgamation crumbled in the face of an alliance that celebrated differences rather than erasing them. Commander Al-Rashid's voice came through the quantum network from the front lines. The amalgamation's trying something desperate. They are attempting to modify their own genetic code, to restore the adaptability they engineered out of themselves. Too little, too late, Colonel Petrov responded, coordinating the defense fleets. They are trying to copy what we do naturally. You can't engineer the kind of adaptability that comes from evolving on a death world. The breakthrough came during the Battle of Sirius. The Chimera, now more evolved than ever, led a fleet of hybrid vessels crewed by humans and their alien allies. Each ship represented a unique combination of technologies and biological adaptations, all working in harmony. Their main fleet is trapped in the gravity web, Technical Director Freeman reported, her augmented vision processing the battle data. But something's different. Their ships, they are trying to surrender. High Commander Nexus's transmission reached every ship in both fleets. We understand now. We sought perfection through uniformity, but you've shown us a greater truth. Evolution requires diversity. Adaptation requires change. We request the right to learn. The response came from Fleet Commander Jackson, her voice carrying the harmonic resonance of a dozen different species technologies. That's all humanity ever wanted, the chance to learn, to grow, to become more than we are. Welcome to the next stage of evolution. In the years that followed, the Terran Alliance became a beacon of innovation throughout the galaxy. The amalgamation's former subject worlds, each with their own unique characteristics and evolutionary advantages, joined one by one. Earth, once classified as a death world, became known as the birthplace of a new kind of civilization. Dr. Patel stood in the new Galactic Council chamber, addressing representatives from 1,000 worlds. We've learned that true strength doesn't come from perfecting a single form. It comes from embracing all forms, all possibilities. Every world that joins us brings new perspectives, new ways of adapting, new paths to evolution. The Chimera, now a living symbol of this philosophy, docked at the massive Alliance station. Its crystalline sections pulsed with the combined energy of dozens of different technologies, each one enhanced by the others. Fleet Commander Jackson emerged from the neural interface, her own biology now a testament to humanity's ability to adapt and grow. The amalgamation thought they had reached the peak of evolution. She addressed the council. They forgot that there is no peak. Evolution is endless, driven by diversity, by challenge, by change. Humanity didn't just survive on our death world, we learned from it. Now we offer that same opportunity to all species. Not to become perfect, but to become more. Director General Cato, his hair now white from the years of war and transformation, made the final entry in Earth's historical records. We answered an alien SOS and found a galaxy in chains. In breaking those chains, we discovered our true purpose. Humanity's greatest strength was never our ability to survive the unsurvivable. It was our ability to take every challenge, every failure, every difference, and turn them into opportunities for growth. The stars once called us a death world species. Now they call us teachers, innovators, liberators. The age of enforced perfection is over. The age of endless evolution has begun. In deep space, the evolved Chimera led a fleet of ships as diverse as the species that crewed them. Each vessel represented a unique combination of technologies, biologies, and ideas. They carried with them humanity's greatest lesson, that true unity doesn't come from making everyone the same, but from learning how to grow stronger through their differences. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly the point.